time. Okay, logging in. This is all. It's quite a thing, quite a little procedure we have to do to get things going here. So just bear with me while we do this. It will only take a second here. Okay, it looks like this is up and running. Okay, logging in. This is all right. There we go. We are live streaming now to hit the record button. Okay, here we go. All right, good evening again, everybody, and welcome to DayTradeSPY.com's weekend review, intro to trading. And my name is Hugh. I'm going to go solo here this evening. We figured that, well, my good friend John, he's going to be doing the Wednesday night show. So I said, take, you know what, take the night off, John. Take the night off. You've been working hard, and I'll do Sunday night. Not a problem. All right. So we got everything going here. Okay, good stuff. I see a lot of people still joining us, folks. Come on in, gang. So a couple things, a little bit of housekeeping here. Excuse me. Um, One of the things is obviously if I speak too fast. All right, so there's a questions box. All right, questions box, and if you click on the questions box, by the way, today is of course Sunday, February the 23rd, 2025, and there's a questions box. You'll find a little icon on your Zoom dashboard. So just click on that. I am the only one that sees that. So go ahead and say whatever you want, and certainly try and get to all your questions. Okay. So definitely try and get to them now. Am I going to teach you how to trade? Making lots of money here? No, that's not the point of this session. This session is just to kind of talk a little bit about an introductory session into trading and chat it up. Just kind of a leisurely sit back, relaxing Sunday night. Talk about whatever else you want to talk about. Okay. We do have sessions where we teach the stuff, and that's primarily on in our trading room, which I'll tell you about in a little bit. So, and then of course we're going to talk about the weekend review and see what's coming up next week. So there's a lot of stuff to go over. So, all right. The other thing I want to tell you is that I do speak a little bit too fast at times. It's because I'm very passionate about what we talk about. Now in our 15th year, believe it or not, I'm just as excited to trade now as I ever was. And this is the reason I get up in the morning. It's not for me because I already know how to trade and make money, but I like to see the successes that you people have. And we get very excited when we hear people say, "Oh my gosh, I made 10 cents, or I made 6%, or whatever it is. I made 5 cents or 5% or whatever." Uh, in the morning chat lines, and people email us all the time for their testimonials and accolades and stuff. It's actually really awesome. But my point here right now is that if you see me or hear me speaking a little bit too fast, or you don't understand what I'm talking about, please put in the questions box that, hey, Hugh, slow down a bit. Or can you tell me in different words? I don't understand what you're saying. Um, if we do get into any technical jargon, don't worry about it if you don't quite understand it, okay? So you're not going to miss anything here. So anyway, anywho, all right, a lot of people still joining us. Come on in, gang. We have hundreds of people on here tonight. Hundreds of people. We had an awesome session in where were we? Las Vegas, Las Vegas. So really excited about that. I'll tell you about that in a little bit. So, all right. So a lot of things happened since last 2 weeks. I saw you guys. I say guys, I mean guys and gals. One of course, was a week ago. It was actually a week ago yesterday. A week ago yesterday, we ended up having to put my beloved dog Lucy down. She has now gone to doggy heaven. And unfortunately, she became very, very sick near the end. Last couple of days, it was just she went down real fast. She went down real fast. So we did have to put her down. But we got 12 and a half years out of this girl. All right, Bernese Mountain Dog. They generally live anywhere from 6 to 8 years on average. So the way I look at it, we had anywhere from about 30 to 50% more past her expiration, and she's truly missed by everybody. In fact, oh my gosh, I'll tell you, we cried, man. I don't think we cried like that at my mother's funeral. So, but it's funny how a dog can actually impact you so much. But anyway, that's where she is. So, and thank you for all your comments on that and condolences and stuff. Excuse me. It's funny because my daughter sort of took care of her for the most part the last several months actually. And when I was in Las Vegas, she sent me pictures of all the flowers that were sent to her. She lives in a condo unit, and everybody in the condo building loved Lucy, absolutely loved Lucy, and of course Lucy loved everybody, and they're all bringing flowers to her. My daughter's just inundated with flowers and bouquets and everything, and cards and you name it. All right, folks, I got the disclaimer up here. By attending this webinar, you fully understand, accept the financial risks involved in trading securities. Risk of loss can be substantial. You should carefully consider whether such trading is suitable for you in light of your personal investment objectives and financial resources. By accessing this webinar, you understand that you're not receiving any advice as to what to buy or sell, but are simply receiving information for educational purposes only. Any decisions concerning your trade are solely your own to meet your personal objectives and risk tolerances. You're alone responsible for all your own trading, and past performance does not guarantee future results. And I think you know that. All right, there I am, live, living color. This is not recorded. This is live. And so we're going to talk about here tonight, last week's review, the upcoming week, and talk about a 2-minute tutorial and answer your questions. Okay, that's what we're going to focus in on here tonight. So, and I'm just looking for my PowerPoint. There we go. There we go. All right. So, and things, we just kind of got back from Las Vegas there not too long ago. So they're kind of getting our bearings again. It might take a couple of days before we get caught up on everything that we need to do. So your patience is certainly appreciated. So anyway, folks, all right, let's get on with the session here. Those of you who don't know me, all right, I know there's a lot of new people online. Lots of new people online. So just a very brief background, my early days in trading. I took a lot of courses, of course, just like probably everybody else, and I went to all the different seminars, webinars, you name it. I did all the DVDs, CDs, books, ebooks. I learned as much as I could, but most of what I learned, the really good stuff, I learned from the trenches, and that is what I teach you, all right? The really hardcore stuff, the stuff that you don't learn, um, that you don't learn in the books. This isn't theory, all right? This is all real practical stuff. So what happens is I notice my picture freezes whenever I click away from it. If I'm looking at something else, I click on something else, my picture freezes. That's why it freezes. It's not your computer. It's my feed going out whenever I do that. It's just the PowerPoint. Anyway, I give you the real stuff. All right, the real stuff, not just theory. All right, I tell you what's really important. I give you little tips, tricks, and traps to watch out for, and that's where you make the money in those tips, tricks, and traps. Anyway, after my own financial advisor blew out half my account, I realized I have to take control of my own account. I used to work for corporate America back in those days, and like the good salaried employee, I would hand off a lot of my money to my financial advisor for my future, for my retirement, until like I say, I don't know if he neglected my account or the market just went funny or whatever, it doesn't matter. But by the time I realized this, that this is not going to work, so I seized control of my account and realizing with the power of the internet, I have information every bit as much available at my fingertips as anybody else. And I was quite comfortable with numbers. Why can't I learn how to do this myself? So I set out and that's exactly what I had done. And I started making some well, I mean, I started trading stocks as probably everybody does, and got burned on the penny stocks, right? I looked at different things, and eventually I found my way to day trading options on SPY. Day trading options, one stock, one strategy, 1 hour a day for 5%. That's kind of our motto, and it works very well. And once you understand options, there's no mystery. That's where a lot of people miss out, right? They think there's some mystery behind it or some magic. And most people, this is what really got me interested. Most people actually they close up their accounts within the first year. I don't know what the number is, 95%, 98%, who knows what it is. Very much up there. But what happens is they blow up their accounts, right? They don't understand how options work. And they don't endeavor to find out. They throw money at it. Options are not like stocks. You buy a stock, you're buying an equity position in a company or an exchange traded fund or something. But with options, it's different. It's actually a contract. You're not owning any stock at all. I don't even want to own stocks. I think if I go back, I can probably find a whole bunch of stock certificates that are worthless and not even worth the paper they're written on, buried away somewhere. I don't know why I keep them. I don't even know how many I've got. Um, but anyway, I didn't even want to go down that path. I don't care. There's no ego in owning stocks anymore. Okay, what it is I just want to make money, right? And if you want to learn all about the stock market, there's lots of places you can go to learn all about the stock market. As a matter of fact, it's like a, I'm sure on online courses and different things, it's like a university you can never graduate out of, right? But with options, if you just want to learn how to make money, you are in the right place. You are in the right place. That's what we do. We make money. Okay, let me see here. Lots of questions already. Sorry about Lucy. Yes. Okay. All right. We've had 12. Oh my gosh. Ed said, oh my gosh, sorry about Lucy. We've had 12 and I've been with each one we have to put them down. Always very tough. It's tough. It's tough. Okay. All right. Yeah. May she rest in peace. Strength for you and your family and wonderful memories. Oh my gosh, very many wonderful families with Lucy. And I remember in her younger days when she and don't get upset if we divert from the conversation here because it's actually all about sort of sitting back, kind of a relaxing evening tonight. You know what I'm saying? It's not always going to be about stock trading. We're going to diverge and talk about other things too. Just one little story about Lucy when she was young, a little puppy. Well, actually, she's already a couple of years old. When she's a big dog, right? They're about 100, 120 pounds, and they like to work. They enjoy working. So we had her tied up with a sled, and the little kids in the neighborhood in the snow, she would pull them like a horse, and it was so funny. I think we still got some videos on that somewhere. But the irony is, the last day when we had to take her into the vets, we put her in a blanket, and she was very ill, and we put her on a sled. We put her on a sled, and we pulled the sled from the condo to the elevator down to the car, and put her in the back of the SUV, and took her out and pulled the sled into the vet's office. And it was just, it was totally the reverse. We pulled her instead of her pulling us. So, but anyway, um, yeah, life is like that. So. Okay, yeah. If you have a dog, then you will know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so I got some pretty cool strategies that worked for me. Okay, I found some pretty cool strategies, day trading options on SPY, and what happened was I started making money. And I don't think I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I was not. Everything I own, everything I got, I had to earn and work hard at. Okay, and but when I started getting some pretty cool strategies under my belt and trading carefully, um, and by the way, I would I would always log my trades, and I would look at my losses. In particular, I would try and learn from my losses. I would say, what went wrong? What happened here that I thought this trade was good yesterday and today it's no good? And I would always go back and then I would try and do less of um, of what didn't work and more of what worked. And that's when I started making some pretty serious money. And of course, I brought home the toys. New cars, new house, new airplane, lots of vacations, going away on trips, lots of, my kids would buy the new clothes. Me, I wear the same clothes, wherever other people buy me clothes. Okay. I was never wanting to run out there spend money on clothes and jewelry. I didn't really care much about it. But anyway, that's what I did. So, but other people noticed and they coerced me into teaching them. And that's where we started Day Trade Spy. Actually, back in the early days, it was called eStock Option Trading or something, estockoptiontrading.com or something. It's just a website, very rudimentary, right? Some of you might even remember that. And and it was interesting, but well, I'll put this up here for a lark. People want to know, well, what am I going to trade that day? So every morning I put up my what I'm going to trade every morning. Around 9 o'clock, I published it along with a follow-up report later in the day. And then also we did a weekly review. I think it was every Thursday night at 9 o'clock. And we chat with you for an hour about the markets and different things. And we thought, well, this will last a month and it'll fizzle out. Well, that's not the way it worked. In fact, it blew up. It mushroomed. It went crazy, and people started telling their friends and whatnot. And hey, wait a second. Okay, this is getting big, right? We started the trading room. We did courses, ebooks. Oh my gosh, just kind of ballooned from there. But anyway, um, I'd like to say the real deal, folks. Training internationally, training people from around the world since 2010. And I'm looking for short-term breakout trades. My favorite trade is scalping, so I'm going for a little bit of money, several times a day, and you just kind of build up your account that way. And that's kind of the way I enjoy trading. So, all right, let's take a look at here. Don't forget, of course, as a reminder, Spy in the Market this year is a newsletter that goes out every Thursday. It is free. All you have to do is subscribe on our website, which is daytradespy.com. Go on the website and just leave us your email address right on the when the pop-up comes up, and then that will subscribe you um, to the newsletter. All right, that's as simple as that. So, or you can also go to, and if you don't want to subscribe, you can still go to our website and get it there, and it's right here. All right, right here. Where did it go? Okay, so there you go. Up at the top, it's called Spy in the Market. Spy in the Market. Click on this. Go down to newsletters. Excuse me. And they're all brought up here on the website, and just click on that, and then it'll open up so you can read these. And they're actually interesting. They're not boring. You know how boring. You know how some newsletters are so boring, and they just throw out a lot of numbers and stuff. That's not what we do. We talk a lot about different things here. Trading through winter weather, Super Bowl effect on the market. Um, it's just, I think it's that. What is it? If an NFL team wins the Super Bowl, we're going to end up the year in a bullish market, right? Yeah, okay. Well, so I think we're supposed to be on an uptrend here. So, anyway, Santa Rally, scalping. There's a lot of things go down through here. Each each newsletter is about a 3-minute read, and every week the topic is a little bit different. Today, or actually this week, it's going to be what to do when the market tanks. What to do when the market tanks. Why I say that? Because we had a little bit of a downturn here on Friday, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on in our 2-minute tutorial as well. All right. All right. So what to do when the market tanks. All right. So what happened here last week? Wow, wow, wow. Take a look at that. Did that shock the shell out of us? It's just oh my gosh. It just wiped out the last few gains, didn't it? So here's what happened, folks. Let's just expand this a little bit. First of all, we're gonna so normally here, excuse me. Normally we go back to last week and discuss the daily events, but I went back a little bit further here, back to last Wednesday or something, just to kind of give you a bit of an overview as to why the market went down to where it did. So even though we're only again we're only going to just take this week, but I think it's essential to look back to February the 12th, which is the middle of the week before, where SPY found support right around that 599 level. All right, so excuse me, Monday, excuse me, Monday the markets were closed. President's Day. Markets were closed, but Tuesday, all right, the we had the Empire State Manufacturing Index, prompt markets up, only to be led down by some inflationary Trump tariff speak. Trump is on about tariffs. Tariffs, tariffs, tariffs. It's all about tariffs. What did he call it? The most beautiful word in the English language, or the dictionary or something. Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. On Wednesday, we had the FOMC, Fed member, the Fed meeting. Excuse me, the Fed Reserve meeting minutes. Now, there's no news there. They're just simply, excuse me, reviewing the meeting minutes and delving into the reasons why they voted the way they did. Taught by Trump's speech again to make the United States of America the bigger, better, bolder, richer, and greater than ever before. Trump has a way of propping up the markets and inspiring new highs, which is what he did. SPY ran up the flagpole there to 613.23 on Wednesday, and on Thursday, well, things came down a little bit here. Some profit taking, strong resistance. There's a very strong resistance level over there. SPY slid about 5 points only to recover much of the loss by the time the market closed. So we had we had some traders recognize the buying opportunity when we found that support down around that 607, 607 and a half level, and down around there they pushed it back up to close over 610, about 610 and a half. Friday was a whole different ball of wax. You had weaker than expected economic reports suggesting that the Trump's policies tramped on U.S. business activity, threat from China with COVID-like bat virus, and the whole thing came crashing down. SPY actually lost about 1.71% or 11 points, way down to test support from way back to February the 12th. Okay, that's what happened last week. All right, let's go on here. From a seasonal standpoint, this is where we sit now. For those of you who don't know what the seasonal chart looks like, that blue line at the top is where SPY is now. Excuse me. And the red line at the bottom is a composite of the last 5 years closing price on the daily chart. Okay. So you can see it's considerably lower on average, but SPY's up there and we kind of came down. If we expand this out like this and zero in, we will find that seasonally SPY dropped about 5 points from last week and also dropped about 5 points for the next week. So we're in a bit of a downturn here from a seasonal standpoint, and it looks like it may have happened this time as well. Why do we bring this up? Well, simply because if you're looking at the seasonality of things, you don't want to kind of go against the grain. So if the market keeps pushing up higher and higher and higher, and there's nothing to say it's not going to happen, it's not going to follow the seasonals, but you kind of want to be a little careful, a little more careful when you're approaching that those new highs, those record highs, and that major resistance level, right? You want to be very careful with that resistance level in there. So, and what that means is that the stock is very vulnerable, right? Very volatile. It doesn't take much to knock it over the edge. It could be something as innocuous as just some economic report that suddenly triggers things, and it could have been the report of another, excuse me, another COVID type virus from China again. Could have been anything. So something will trigger the stock and down she goes. So good to know the seasonality of this. So all right. So last week, 2 months into the year, we had mega cap tech stocks lagging the broader market. As a matter of fact, only two of the Mag 7 stocks, these are the top 7 stocks, like your Amazons, Googles, Microsoft, Tesla, those guys here. Only two of those outperformed the S&P 500. It's kind of interesting to know that. Mag 7 returned over 150% in the last 2 years with extended valuations. That means they are vulnerable. So if the market's going to go down, it's gonna pull out of the Mag 7 stocks first, right? Because they're the most vulnerable, and they are the ones that are going to go down. So something to keep in mind. These global companies, which they are more exposed, by the way, to tariffs uncertainty, especially being the tech stocks, and you're getting into the chips, right? You're getting into the microchips, and Taiwan is a big chip maker, right? And if there's any threats to Taiwan chips coming into the States, that's going to affect a lot of things, right? Everything has a chip in it. Everything has a chip. And so these global companies are going to be more exposed to this kind of tariffs uncertainty. Earnings growth still expected to be more balanced between the top cap, the high, the major cap stocks and the lower cap stocks, mid cap stocks. I think it's going to be a little more balanced between the tech and the non-tech stocks as well. So this is kind of an interesting observation for 2025. We also had inflation still generally contained, still moderate around 2.6%. It's not out of the woods yet, but it's not overly bad either. Okay. And there are some growth concerns. Retail sales like Walmart below expectations. That seemed to be a big one. And that they figure is what really sort of knocked SPY over the edge because of their outlook. When their outlook isn't as great or they're worried about consumers and disposable income and this sort of thing, that's going to have a sort of major effect in volatility. So that's kind of what happened last week. Um, the Dow actually, or sorry, the S&P actually slipped 1.7%. The Dow came down 2.5%, as did the Nasdaq. Overall, the S&P is still up 2.2% year to date, and 2.1% for the Dow, and the Nasdaq up 1.1%. All right, so we're gonna take a quick poll here, folks. Quick poll. I want to see your thoughts. Your thoughts here. Okay, what do you think of this policy or this goal here? President Trump is looking to abolish the IRS and replace its tax revenue with tariff cash. Would you support such an initiative? Yes, no, or not sure? So, in other words, instead of income tax, he's kind of alluding to let's just make tariff cash, right? We tariff everything. Everything that comes into this country, you're going to pay tariffs, and that's where you're gonna that's where the taxes are kind of. So let me know what you think on that one here. Just punch it up in the questions box, and let me know what you think about that. And I'm going to just give you a couple of minutes. Okay. Yes. No, 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 no. Yes. Of course. Yes. Not sure. Yes. 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 Lots of yeses. Not sure. Not sure. No, no. Yes. Good mix. Yes. 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 Okay. Okay. Just kind of reading this here. Okay. Yes. I understand. It makes economic sense, financial sense. I understand that raises our daily prices on products. Sure. Hell no. Wow. We have extremes here. All right. I like this one here. Tariffs plus consumption tax. No IRS. I like that answer a lot. I like that one. Absolutely no. Big capitals and no. Yes, capital. Yes. No. Wow. All over the place. These comments are all over the place. This is interesting. Yes, all tariffs, revenue to support U.S. government would amount to a consumption tax. Fair tax policy to replace the current IRS code with sales tax across the board. I love that idea. A lot of yeses. I would say we're probably more in the yeses here. Yeses. Lots of no's, but yeses. Get rid of capital gains. Yes, that is true. Okay. All right. Lots. I think we're leaning to the yeses a lot more than the no's. Interesting. Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff. I personally, I think it'd probably be a good idea. I like the idea when you match it up with the national sales tax. This way, it's a consumption tax that you would pay the tax as you buy things. If you're not buying things, you don't pay the tax, right? No income tax. Yes, things are going to cost a little more, but you're also going to eliminate people who don't pay their fair share of tax. You're going to eliminate the Hunter Biden situation where he owes a lot of money in tax, but his father, right? Joe Biden forgave him. Well, guess what? You know what? He hurt all the taxpayers in this country by doing that. You're going to save a lot of money in funding the IRS. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm personally I'm for it. You know, preferably with the national sales tax. Find out what the numbers are, and at least you can do so. Anyway, let's move on. Okay. I like these polls. These are just those 25-cent polls, right? There's nothing that they don't mean anything. You're not getting on a mailing list. You're not going to get inundated with all kinds of weird stuff. But anyway, just kind of an interesting thing to see what your thoughts are. So, all right, Monday. What's coming up Monday? We have a low, no news day. Not too much going on Monday. On Tuesday, we've got the CB Conference Board Consumer Confidence Report and the Richmond Manufacturing Index coming out. On Wednesday, new home sales. Thursday, unemployment claims, preliminary GDP, durable goods, and pending home sales. And on Friday, the Fed Reserve's preferred um, inflation indicator, the personal consumption expenditure, PCE. You also have Chicago PMI and personal income and personal spending, University of Michigan. All right, so what does that mean for volatility? Well, volatility is going to be low on Monday, medium on Tuesday, on Wednesday, on Thursday and Friday, expect higher volatility. Your chance to make some money on more so later on in the week with the news coming out. Okay, as the markets continue to forge ahead. All right. Here's our 2 minute tutorial. I'm trying to move a little bit fast so that we can wrap it up within an hour here for you tonight. I don't want to keep it much more than an hour. And we're just kind of trucking along here, right? All right. What kind of names do we have online? My goodness, I can't believe all these people online. Beautiful, beautiful evening. All right, a 2 minute tutorial. What is the best thing to do when the market collapses like it did on Friday? All right, the first thing, folks, do not panic. Do not panic, okay? It's not the end of the world. Do not panic. Remember, your money management said you're never going to invest more than you can afford to lose. Not that you're going to lose it. I don't advocate that at all. I don't think you will. You might lose a little bit. I'm not sure. We'll see where it goes. But don't worry about it. Right now, that's when the market's in a bad mood, uh, there's not a whole lot you can do about it. Okay, think of it as I'm sure you've all had kids. Many of you had kids. When your 2 or 3 year old has a temper tantrum because he or she cannot effectively express themselves, right? So they rant and rave, cry and scream and yell, throw things and whatever. They have all this pent up energy. Um, you just took them to your parents' place, right? So the grandparents. So what do the grandparents do? They retaliate against you, their children, by feeding your children, right? Their grandkids, feed them candy, right? Knowing that you are going to take your kids home and you're going to have to deal with the aftermath, right? When you feed kids sugar, they get all this energy, you got to release it. So they have the temper tantrums, right? So what happens? You sit back, you let the kid just rant and rave, and you don't get excited, you don't go beating them up or anything like that, you know, but you let them go through that moment of holy terror that they're doing, and once they settle down, they quiet down, they get tired out, they go to sleep, right? And that's kind of what happens, right? Um, anyway, you got to look at the bigger picture because eventually the buyers will return, likely sooner rather than later. All right, find out why the price has dropped. If you can find out why, markets don't climb forever. Is it technical or is it fundamental? Um, there could be, there could be many reasons why the market's tanked, but and again, sometimes it's innocuous as just a bad report, but it was at a very high resistance level, very major resistance, and it just didn't take much to knock it over the edge. That's okay. It'll come down. It'll come down. And then again, the big picture, right? Big picture. The economy has grown rapidly in the last 2 years, despite high interest rates and inflation. So we are in a very bullish market. There's going to be a little bit of a retracement or a correction, but this is not a major correction here. What we're going through now is not a correction. Businesses are going to be waiting for clarity on taxes, spending regulations, tariffs, immigration enforcement before making big plans. They're sitting in the bush just waiting. But what you're going to see is this. I'm going to give you an example of the charts the way it looks. Okay. Here is going back a few days. You will see this massive downturn right here. We dropped and then it went back up. Look at this. And I'm going to just write it up here. And the recent move on SPY, going back to January the 24th, SPY tanked a massive 21 points in one day. And it bounced around, all right, didn't always go back. In fact, down a couple of days later, it went even lower. But look, take a look what happened here. Take a look what happened here. Within 4 days, it recovered virtually 100% of the loss. Here's another day, all right? This one's another one here. Recent move on price, January the 31st. SPY dropped another 21 points. A week later, SPY, this was when I think the previous week was the Chinese AI model DeepSeek or something. And then this one here, I can't remember now what tanked SPY on this one here, but it went down. But look at this. Within the week, it recovered almost 100% of the loss again. And I mean, when I say 100%, virtually 99% of the loss it recovered on the stock. Now, the option, you're not going to get that much. So you're going to have your theta loss. You have to take that in mind. So you have to kind of keep that in mind and take some losses. You don't have to take all the losses, obviously. But when you see the market coming back up, I expect it to go back up. When you see the market going back up, start working its way back up, all right? Here's another one, and this is all just in the last few days. Here again. Recent SPY move. This is on the on February. Did I do this right? February February the 7th. Is this the same? Yeah, February the 7th, we dropped 8 points in one day. All right, from about 608 down to 600. And within 4 days, it had recovered more than 100% of the loss. Again, this is the stock, it's not the option. And what we're seeing is that there is recovery in these trades, right? Which one's this one here? February the 21st, SPY dropped 11 points in one day. And let's see, this is the other day, right? This is on Friday, I guess it would have been, right? Right. Let's see where it goes in the next few days. Um, this is not. I don't have the chart on that one. Let me just take a look. Let me pull this up. As a matter of fact, this is. I have the wrong chart on that. I apologize for that. This is what happened on Friday. We dropped. Okay, we dropped. Let's make this say. Let's go back and make this one say an hourly chart. All right. Yes, we dropped here from 611 down to 599, about a 12-point drop already. Take a look. We're coming up in pre-market. We were recovering, let's see, from about down here, it's say 600, 600. We're already up to 602. We've already recovered a couple of dollars. Take a look up here at the top left. These are the futures, folks. Up at the top left, these are the futures. Here, let me just go back and yeah, this chart I'm showing you here on the PowerPoint is wrong. But take a look over here. Okay, let me see here. Okay, this here, futures slash yes, that's the S&P 500. Right now we're up $20.50. Nasdaq is futures up $68 plus, and the Dow is up $154 plus. Oil and gold are both down, and that's a good thing because what happens is people put money um, from the highly overvalued stocks. When things go bad, they take it out of there, mostly the tech stocks, and put it into safe haven, gold, oil, that kind of stuff. But now when it's reversed, they're taking it out of gold, out of oil, putting it back into the stock market, right? And now we're going to see the market go back up. Don't be surprised if you see quite a major recovery in the next 2 days, 2 or 3 days, probably mostly on technical trading, but I could see this thing pushing back up. Now, what happens is Trump likes to speak. He likes to speak a lot, just about every day. He is in his world when he has these press conferences, and he does have a way of moving the stock higher whenever he gets into that mood, right? So let me see when he's booked to speak again. Let me see if I can find if it's scheduled or not. I noticed that the schedule comes up usually on the same day. They bring up his schedule. I don't see him scheduled. It's just not on the schedule yet. Don't be surprised if he speaks 3 out of the 5 days this coming week, okay? He has a way of inspiring the markets, pushing them back up, okay? So that's where I see this going. So right now, I'm not worried about it. The economy is still strong. The Trump administration appears concerned about the market, and personally, I expect a rally. I expect a rally. And if you're sitting in calls, sit tight. Just try not to worry too much about it. Let's just see what happens on Monday or Tuesday. Come Wednesday, I would say, okay, if the stock is really pushing to the upside, maybe repair the trade or cut your losses. The worst you can do is cut your losses when it's actually um, when it's down and out the way it is. All right. So, moral of the story here, the solution. Always buy time. I preach this all the time. Make sure you buy time so you can weather the storms, possibly repair back on this upward trend. So one of the questions I get a lot is this, Hugh, if you're looking to dump the stock in a few minutes, why should I worry about your theta loss? Well, because what happened Friday, so often what will happen is the market turns and it goes down so fast. Even if you have a stop loss, it just rips right through that, and you end up selling for a lot less than you think you should get, right? That's one. The other thing is you're oftentimes found as a deer in the headlights. You're just watching it. You say, well, it's gotta come up now. Well, it doesn't gotta do anything, right? Keeps going down, down, down. You don't even know why. You don't know why. You're trying to scramble around before you know it. The thing lost, 2 points, 3 points, 5 points, 10 points. It's just there's no end to it, right? And by the time you get out, you just now, wiped out, half or 60 or 80% of your value. That's the worst thing you can do is to sell it at that point. Just hold on, wait it out. It's going to come back up. That's why you have to buy time. Now you're going to say, well, those are more expensive. Yes, they are. So let's say you're going to invest, I don't know, $5,000, right? Well, instead of buying maybe 20 contracts on same day expiration, you're going to buy 10 contracts a week out, right? So you buy fewer contracts. What's the difference? When you sell them, you're going to get the money back anyway, right? If you're buying, 1 or 2 day expirations, really tight, really, really tight expirations, what you find is that when the stock goes against you, it's very, very difficult to get that premium back. As a matter of fact, the stock has to go up oftentimes quite a bit higher to get that premium back. They suck the premium out. They're very quick on sucking up, but they're not very fast on putting it back in. And then you're really, really stuck. And you don't want to be doing that, right? So by buying time, you can always, you can just sit back, relax a little bit, and just kind of let it come back out. And then it's probably going to come back on its own. Um, Even if I expect to be out of it in a matter of a couple of minutes, I'm still going to buy time, and you're still generally going to get the same return on investment on that. I'm not talking about a lot of time, because if you go like, 3, 4, or 5 weeks out at a time, you're not going to get the same return on investment as quickly. Like it's going to be sort of slower going, and where you might get say 6% on a week out, if you go 2 or 3 weeks out, well, maybe you'll get 4 or 5%. A little more stable that way. So there's that trade-off. There's always that trade-off. Anyway, buying time is what I recommend all the time. All right, no matter what you do. It's kind of like I know I've made the point, but it's insurance is what it is. That's exactly what it is. When you buy a new car, you wouldn't dream of driving it off the lot without being insured. Even if the car's in great shape, you're only going down a mile to your house. Weather's good, traffic's good, you're good, everything's good, right? You know that anything can happen. Some drunk driver can come out of the intersection, smash into you, or you wouldn't dream of driving the car off the lot without insurance. Same thing with this. Consider it your insurance. All right, beat that one to death. I think it probably went to 3 minutes instead of two. All right, what are we going to do here? What are we going to talk about now? Okay, all right. We have some services I want to tell you about. I know you've heard it before, but I'm going to keep telling you because we have something for everybody. And if you are such that you are not able to get in on the morning trading room or even look at your computer, but you've got your cell phone with you, maybe you're walking around, maybe you're working, you're driving or something, you probably would do well with the DTS Day Trade Spy. Isn't that funny how it works? The signal. The signal. This is a particular option that is sent to your cell phone through a text message. It's immediate. We send this 3 to 5 times a week, depending on the setup. It's algorithm based. These are morning trades, not going to be in the afternoon. So as soon as you get them, you're going to immediately buy that option. Now, if you're fortunate enough to be able to watch the stock, and if it's going against you, wait until it turns around, then buy it. But either way, if you buy it within the next 2 minutes, then put up for sale right away for a 5% gain. This is a strategy that's been working extremely well. Okay, it has an excellent, I think it's about an 89, 90, 91% success rate. Somebody was asking about a success rate. It's up there somewhere on that. And if it's not sold by the end of the day, then you sell it at the market value at the end of the day. Now, these options, they have long out expirations, so they don't go to zero. All right, you're not going to lose it all. All right, you might be down a little bit or maybe a little more or something, but usually, you're going to get filled with your 5% fairly quickly. But just hold on, and then if it isn't filled by the end of the day, simply sell it at the market value at the end of the day, and you should be okay. Again, it's been extremely, extremely successful. A lot of people love the DayTradeSPY signal. All right, all of these prices, I can't give you these prices because I think the best thing to do is to call or contact customer service at DayTradeSPY because I know if you go to the website, there's prices there on the website. But I'm telling you now because you were on the Sunday night special, right? This is the Sunday night um, intro to trading session where we tell you like the tips and stuff. So my tip is to contact customer service because they generally have better prices. When you contact them, say, "What's your best price on the signal?" You'll probably find most times it's better than what you're going to get on the internet, right? What you're going to get online on our website. So for all of these, contact customer service at DayTradeSpy. Just ask them, what's the best price on this particular product or services right now? And then they'll give you probably a better price. That's the DayTradeSpy signal. Next up, we have the pick of the day. Pick of the day, similar but not the same as the signal. This one is a particular option emailed to you at 9 o'clock. So whereas the other one is algorithm based, this one is actually triggered by one of us, John or myself. We get together and we discuss where the market is looking to go every day. See, we are not smart enough to know where the market's going to be a year from now, or a month from now, or even a week from now. I've got no idea where it's going to be a week from now. If somebody was going to tell me that, on Monday that the market's going to be down, 1.5% or whatever, I would have said, oh, okay, well, whatever, how do you know that? I don't know. Um, but we have a very good idea as to where it's going to go today. Are we right all the time? No. I mean, sometimes you just get blindsided. You don't know, right? And even though you get blindsided, you don't know. Based on what we see at 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning, that's when we make our decision. Is it going up or is it going to go down? And that's what we send you. So the idea here is to get the option, and then when the market opens at 9:30, take a look at your 1 minute candle. If it's going in your direction, buy it then. If it's going against you, wait until it turns around. Now, practically speaking, if you're seeing, for example, if it's calls and you're seeing red, 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 it's going down like crazy. Like, well, just hold on a second and don't be so much in a hurry. There could have been something that happened that suddenly spooked the market and it's tanking. It's going down like crazy, right? So just hold on. Sometimes it's better to not be in a trade wishing you were than to be in a trade wishing you weren't. But the point is too that all the time when the stock opens up and if the gap, especially if there's a gap, you'll see the bid-ask spread very wide. Wait a few seconds until the bid-ask spread tighten up within 2, 3, maybe even 4 cents of each other, 3 cents really, then buy the option. These are actually hand-picked trades, okay, to be bought at market open. We are looking for a 6% gain on these, usually fills the next few minutes, and these could be held overnight if not sold. Unlike the signal that you would sell at the market close, you could actually hold these overnight. So if you're in calls from Friday and your market's tanked and you're holding on them, then hold it over the weekend. We'll see what happens Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right? And again, contact customer service for pricing on the pick of the day. Another very, very popular program. I think it's somewhere around 90%. I don't know what the numbers are. Very, very, very successful. All right. Next up, we have the Inner Circle. This is the very first service we did back in 2010. You're going to get your morning market analysis. John has been writing them very comprehensive, very detailed. I think maybe a little bit too much, but it's very good. People love what he says. It's going to be emailed to you in your inbox about 9 o'clock in the morning, right? This is a flash assessment as to where we see SPY going today. And it's actually pretty good. Versus, say, the trading room, which would be, say, a live stream. This is just a photo of where the stock is going to go the rest of the day. You'll also get a follow-up report later in the day as to what we actually did and how the market worked out. You'll also be invited to the Wednesday night meetups. Every week we have a meetup where we all get together and just discuss anything and everything to do with SPY trading. And it could be chart patterns, chart setups on Thinkorswim or Tasty Trade or anything at all related to SPY options and day trading, and we'll answer your questions. All right. So we give you these venues with which to ask these questions. There's a question up on the board here. Why don't I do these one-on-one sessions anymore? Excuse me. I used to do one-on-ones, and it got so So what? I got so very busy. Excuse me for a second here. I've been talking all day, so I need to wet my throat once in a while. Um, we used to do one-on-one sessions, and then Eagle bought us out, and they expanded like crazy, and we were looking at full-time jobs with this, and even then some. And it got too crazy. You're trying to do all these things. So we said, okay, we give people venues with which to contact us and to get their questions answered. So we have the Wednesday night webinars for the inner circle. We have the Sunday nights, just very sort of, you know, cursory overview of things. But then we have the detailed programs in the trading room where you can actually get real answers real quickly in our trading room. So that's what we have. So, but the inner circle, the price is very, very inexpensive. A great place to start out if you're not really sure. If you're just getting into trading, you're a beginner, whatever, get into the inner circle. It doesn't cost you much at all, and you're going to learn a lot. Like it's just a great place to be. Very, very good. And you're also going to get the first notice of any upcoming events or different things that come out. I know Wednesday nights we sort of introduce things a lot on the Wednesday night sessions where people, they're the first to hear about things, right? So you want to get it on that one. And again, for pricing, very, very reasonably priced. I know we just had some show specials as well in Las Vegas here, and I'll tell you about that in a little bit. Again, contact customer service at DayTradeSPY for that. All right, our piece de resistance, is that the way you say that? Trading room. This is where it all happens, folks. Hosted by yours truly. My name is Hugh, and my associate John Johnson. We're trying to find a nickname for John in the trading room. He doesn't like. I don't think he likes Big John. I don't think he likes JJ. We're trying to find a nickname for him, and I suggested today. I emailed him. I said, John, I got a nickname for you. He said, what's that? I said, how about Johnny on the spot? He wasn't too crazy about that one either. So anyway, um, I'll get to all your questions too. Let me get to your questions a little bit. Anyway, John has been trading for, oh my gosh, 20 plus years, and he had his own newsletter. Yeah, I mean, and he sort of retired from the newsletter business with Eagle, and then Eagle brought him back. Said, how about joining the trading room? So John's all excited. He's actually a lawyer by profession, and a big lawyer. He's not just like a small lawyer. You know what I'm saying? Like he doesn't just do wills and real estate. No, no, he was doing all kinds of commercial litigation stuff in the oil and gas field, you know. But anyway, he's in our trading room. Super nice guy, very knowledgeable, very friendly, very just the greatest guy. So we do this together, right? And this is where strategies come alive. So we've got several little strategies that we'll look at, and we'll always tweak our strategies and try and make things better all the time. We're always tweaking things, and you're going to learn and earn. All right, these are going to be interactive sessions. Not going to be. They are interactive. You can come up in with your questions, and we get them answered. It's exciting trading. All right, trading is fun. It's exciting. It's rewarding. We teach what we trade, and we trade what we teach. I don't know anybody else who does that. Most people out there that I know of now, I haven't followed anybody. I don't follow anybody anymore. They follow us instead. I remember in the early days, you hear a lot of people talking in theory. They would talk in theory. Well, if this happens, that happens. Well, in reality, that's not the way it works. But we get into the reality of things. All right. You want to know how to make money, and in reality, in a real live, real market environment situation, this is where you need to be in the trading room. This is where you're going to get your questions answered. Live trading room, all right? And we've been doing this again since 2010, now in our 15th year. So I understand that we have the longest running trading room out there. Not aware of any other trading room that has gone longer than the Day Trade Spy trading room. Okay. Again, contact customer service at Day Trade Spy for pricing. I got a question on the board. Is your pricing for the show special still on? I don't believe it is, but I'm going to tell you the price for the trading room is $6.99 for 3 months. So let's say that 700, say so $6.99 for 3 months. We are talking about $233 a month Divide that by 4.33. Works out to $54 a week. Basically, we're looking at what, a little over $10 a day. Are you kidding me? I don't think I can. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I could buy a half a Subway sandwich for lunch based on what you're paying for this, and you have the resources of two pro traders at your fingertips. Are you kidding me? I would have given anything for that opportunity when I was learning this stuff. The question I have for you is, can you afford not to subscribe to this? Because it sounded so good when I wrote this, I was going to subscribe. I said, can't do that. I'm the one running it. Anyway, folks, please join the trading room. Join the trading room. I think you're gonna really enjoy it. We have fun. We kick around and we talk about a lot of different things, to go over strategies, all the rest of it. So right now, I'm gonna take some questions last few minutes, and let me go over some of the questions here that are up on the board. Okay. Sort of here about Lucy. Good evening from Fort Lauderdale. Fort Lauderdale. Once you punch it, guys, do me a favor. Punch out where you are, all right? Where you located? Because I know we have people around the world checking these, getting into these Sunday night sessions here. Love to hear where you're from, just to give you a big shout out here. Does tasting trade require a minimum balance before making trades? And is there a maximum amount of trades that you can make in a week? Tony, I don't believe there's any maximum amount as to how many trades you can make in a week. Um, there is this thing called the pattern day trade rule. What that says is you can make three round trip trades in a 5 day period if you have less than $25,000. Now, there's a couple of ways to get around that. First of all, make sure you have 25,000 or more in your trading world. In other words, if you're in Schwab, Thinkorswim, you don't have to have $25,000 in your trading account. You can have it in other accounts in Schwab. Let's say you have it in money markets or something else. That will constitute that thing, and then you can go in and out as much as you want. You can also set up a cash account. So essentially, however much cash you have in your account, that's how much you can trade up to. Always bear in mind that let's say you have $10,000 and you trade $10,000 and you made $1,000. Well, you cannot trade anymore until your trades settle, which is the next day. The next day, so if you had $10,000, you traded $10,000, you made 1,000 profit. The next day you can trade $11,000. Okay. The other thing is sometimes what happens is people kind of get wrapped up and they forgot that, oh my gosh, I traded four times in a 5 day period. I'm sitting at a trade right now. What you might want to do is don't execute the sale until your 5 day period has lapsed. In other words, if you're in a position and you don't want to get slapped with a good faith violation, then you try and hold on until the 5 days have not that you have to wait for 5 days, but until it's a rolling 5 day, and then close out the position so that you're in the next 5 day period, if that makes any sense. And then you'll be within the limits of the three round trip trades per 5 day period. Um, the other thing is, so if you get a so many good faith violations, I think you can have three or four a year, and then they will put you in the corner for 3 months. They'll slap your fingers, your wrist, and say, "Ah, you've been a bad boy, bad girl. No trading for you for 3 months." If that happens, and somebody at Thinkers, no, I think it was Tasty Trade told me about this. If that happens, and you get too many good faith violations, and they freeze your account for 3 months, simply open another account, same firm, transfer your money from the one to the other, and then you're good to go on your second account. Okay, that's kind of pretty cool. So pay attention to that. All right, that's kind of important. Anyway, and nice thing I like. Okay, so as far as accounts are concerned, by the way, you guys okay if we go a few minutes after 9 o'clock? I like to wrap things up in an hour, but because there's so many questions, I kind of want to get to a lot of these questions. Look at that fire burning in the background. Oh my gosh, it's getting hot in here just looking at it. So one of the questions here is, which one do I prefer, Thinkorswim or Tasty Trade? So I like Thinkorswim for their incredible charts, indicators, both written, by the way, by the same people, Tom Sosnoff and his group. I also like Tasty Trade because of the commission structure. It's $1 to open a position per contract. There's nothing to close, up to a maximum of $10. Okay. So if you trade five contracts, it's $5 plus a couple cents for exchange fees. And if you trade 10 contracts, it's $10. If you trade 100 contracts, it's $10. If you want to trade 500 contracts, $10 commission with Tasty Trade. Tasty Trade also gives you lightning speed executions, which I really, really like. I don't know how they do it, but they're right there. So those are my preferred trading platforms. I'm sure if any good platform these days should be any good reputable platform should have the availability of the indicators that we use. There's a question about what indicators I use. I don't want to get into all the details on that. So what happens is this, and this is very important. I like to keep things simple. So I have a certain set of just a few, indicators that I use and how I use them. I like to use EMAs, exponential moving averages, MACD, support resistance lines, that sort of thing. I like to keep it simple, right? Chart patterns, different things like that. This is all stuff that we teach in the trading room. John, my cohort in the trading room, he also has his set of indicators that he uses. So when our indicators unite, so if John says, I think the market's going up today, and I say the market's going up today, it's probably going to go up today. Um, Ironically, we both said it's going to go up on Friday and the market tanked. So something happened between the time we had assessed that and then the market opened and then something triggered the market down. But it'll be up. It'll be back up tomorrow. Tomorrow and Tuesday, you should see a climb. But anyway, when our indicators unite, our trades ignite. So we both say it's going to go up. It's probably going to go up. You might want to buy call options, right? So my thoughts for Monday, Mike, I think the market's going to go up. I believe it probably will. There's going to be some recourse on that one. I think you're going to see it pull back up here. So Johnny L says here, oh yeah, he's taking more courses. He cares to acknowledge, I guess. He still has some of their original packaging. I think we all do. You know what's funny here, Johnny? Several years ago, I was in the closet. I'm like you. I took a lot of these courses and I used to buy. And by the way, 20, 30 years ago, those courses for trading options were a lot of money. It was not unusual to spend 20, $25,000 on a course, right? But several years ago, I was going through my closet in my office, and I started throwing some of these things out. My wife said, "What are you throwing that out for? You didn't even open that one up." I said to her, "Well, I already found something that works much better than this." Or some of the courses I had sort of taken, but I couldn't get anywhere with them. You know, you load it up, and it's not the same as what the presenter was showing you, and you call for customer support, and you're just not getting it. So I threw all these out, but my wife had this incredible random access memory. Well, you paid $4,997 for that one. Oh, I'm so glad you reminded me right to the penny. She knew. She knew. It was unbelievable. Um, Drove me crazy. I said, well, why should I keep them? I don't use them. I'm not going to give them away. She actually suggested I put them on eBay or something. So, well, why would I sell somebody inferior products like that and just trash them? That's the price. That's the price for learning, right? You go through some of this stuff to learn, right? So anyway, what's the difference between SPY and SPX? Okay, Jesse. So SPX is the basket of the top 500 stocks. If you take a stock from each one, stick it in there, you should have the SPX. Their options are about 10 times the price of uh, of SPY. Their options will expire on expiration. Actually, their options can be exercised on expiration. Okay. SPY, on the other hand, is the stock. It's the spider that follows the SPX. So it would follow the top 500 stocks. They can be exercised at any time leading up to expiration. They're much cheaper. They're much more liquid. And unless you're trading like $1 million or something, I would stay with SPY. More liquidity, more volatility, more opportunities to make money. Um, I find they're less risky than SPX. I don't like to have, say, one option that I spend $1,200 for. Um, I would rather have 10 options that I paid. $120 each for, because there's more flexibility with that. I can maybe leg in and okay, I've got 10 options with SPY versus one option with SPX. Well, maybe I can leg in and out with the SPY. I can go five contracts now, five contracts later, and sell them that way or whatever. So I just find it's more flexible with SPY, and the liquidity is there as well. So, all right, Henry, do you give a 30-day refund if I don't like it? Yes. Yes. Okay, so check with customer service. I know that, for example, with the trading room, you sign in, and if you don't like it, if it's not for you, and I'm not saying our trading room is for everybody or our system is for everybody. If you don't like it, you call them and say it's not for me. Can I cancel? They'll say, yeah, here's your money back on your credit card or whatever, right? No, no problem, no problem at all. I know who anybody else does that. That's unbelievable. Okay, let me just see here. Question here. I don't know how SPY goes from 612 down to 600 in one go here. Schwab doesn't do 5 minutes on mobile app and got into 608. Don't expect it to rise 8 points by Friday, so I expect to get up for a loss early tomorrow. Okay, for that, Rod. Check your settings. Maybe your mobile app has certain settings. I'm not really sure. I generally don't use the mobile app for Thinkorswim. I have used it to close out a trade, but I don't get into the charts or anything else as well. So, okay, I looked at Foxy and then CNBC, not one mention of the new COVID type virus. I think they're kind of keeping a lid on it, but I'm not sure. Somebody's getting some information from somewhere. Okay, so let me scroll down here and get some more questions. Okay. Wow, a lot of people chimed in for the tariffs for the poll. I thank you very much for that. That's actually really good. I wonder if there's some way I can actually give you an updated real-time results on these polls. I'm kind of just having to summarize them sort of as I go along and take in your comments and that. So, okay, wow. Show me the numbers. Wishful thinking. Sales tax percentage would work. You only pay if you buy. I love that. Yeah. I think that's the fairest tax of all. You buy something, you pay tax. That's it. Get rid of this income tax. And not to mention how much money do we spend every year paying, accountants to prepare our taxes? I'm sure accountants would want that, but they'll find other things to do, believe me. Uh, okay, let's see. Nvidia reporting earnings this week. Oh, really? Is Nvidia reporting earnings? Let me take a look here. Okay, is Nvidia earnings season coming up? Okay. Let me take a look. Somebody's asking about Nvidia reporting earnings this week. This could be interesting. Nvidia, what is that? NVDA, is it? Nvidia? How come I don't know what the search is here? Okay, Nvidia, here it is. When are they reporting earnings? Somebody said this week here. Bear with me while I find out. When is Nvidia reporting? I know, I'm just gonna Google it, right? When does Nvidia report earnings? It's amazing what you can find out when you ask Google, right? I think this internet's gonna catch on. What do you think? Uh, okay. Scheduled for February the 26th. That's Wednesday. Okay, interesting, right? Nvidia earnings on Wednesday. Let's just take a quick look. Nvidia, Salesforce. Okay, so earnings this week, I think we're winding them down for the first quarter. Not too much on Monday. Zoom is on Monday. Zoom is on Monday tomorrow. On Tuesday, we have Home Depot, Intuit. Let me see. On Wednesday, Nvidia is the big one. Salesforce, Lowe's, TJ Maxx, Anheuser-Busch, Snowflake, Monster Beverage, Stellantis. Thursday, we have Dell Technologies, Autodesk, HP. Friday, we have Berkshire Hathaway, uh, which is smaller companies. So this could be an interesting week for earnings on Wednesday. We'll see what happens on Wednesday. Thank you for that, whoever, Reggie G said that. Okay, thank you so much for that. Do you have a published track record? So what we do is every day in our inner circle follow-up report, we talk about and we report what we did, good, bad, and ugly. It's all in there, okay? Do we have like a website where it's all listed? No, we don't do that because in part, our strategies change over time. We're running around, I think, like say about a 90% success rate, 91, 92, something like that, maybe down to 89. It varies all the time. So it's not really fair to anybody by publishing those. And if you go by that and you say, well, you had a loss here, I don't know, it's just we don't want to defend something that's really not pertinent. What you got to do is come in, and everybody's going to have a different result, right? Just because I might have a very successful track record doesn't mean you will. And we have a lot of people who are trading better than I am. Okay, so I mean, it's really up to the individual. What you and I get in and get out of on our pricing is going to be different, and we might have different. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into that, right? There is our capitalization. I might have a greater capitalization than you, so you're going to be a little more stressed as to, well, I have to make a profit or else. Our risk tolerance is going to be different. Everybody's going to have a different risk tolerance, right? Our understanding of the programs, right? Our understanding of the strategy is going to be a little bit different. I can show you two charts, a 1 minute, a 5 minute, and a 15 minute, and say, is the market going up or down? It might be going down on the 1 minute, but if you look at a 5 minute, it's going up. If you look at a 15, it could be flat. So what time frame are you looking at? You might have a different, just different experience levels, right? I've been doing this for a long time. If you're just brand new, you've been doing it for 3 days, well, you're not going to have that same feeling for the stock market as I do. So there's so many different variables that go into this. To just show a track record and think you're going to emulate that, that's not going to really happen. So, all right. Da-da-da. Yes, Phil L. I met Phil down. Okay, yeah. The Las Vegas, get back a report here. We had a great time in Las Vegas. We had, yeah, I mean, it was okay. It was a long trip down. It took me about 17 hours. We got snowed in Buffalo, went up to the Toronto airport, and finally got out of there. And which is a good thing because the next day a Delta Airlines flight crashed and it flipped over. Fortunately, nobody got killed, but it was a real mess. But it was a long trip down with the snowstorms and what I had to wait it out. But I met some wonderful people down there. A lot of our traders met them. It was really nice to see them. So thank you very much. Great to meet you down there, Phil. Meeting my mentor. Great. It was a hoot meeting my mentor after 5 years, right? And your son, Phil. Okay. All right. So, okay. Some of these questions here. I am new. I've traded for 10 years plus. Larry, good to have you here, Larry. I only trade SPY in the Qs. Why would you not buy puts on Friday? I trade the 15-minute candle. Uh, I did not trade much this last week because I was in Las Vegas, and I applied you. And I'm gonna let you go in here in a couple minutes. I applied you folks over on the West Coast. This getting up at 5 a.m. in the morning, 5, 6 a.m. Wow, I don't even think the birds get up that early. The only thing I looked out my window is the wildlife on Las Vegas Boulevard. And I didn't want to get in any trading in those days because I knew I had to wrap it up after the trading room and get down to the trade show. So I wasn't going to be able to watch my trades or monitor them in a meaningful way. So I didn't want to be a trade. So I took that time to just paper trade or whatever. So all right, okay. Okay, thanks you for the pick me up on. Oh yeah, don't worry about. We'll see what happens tomorrow and next day. It could be. I've seen this so many times where it drops so fast and then it starts inching its way back up. And again, let's just take a look at where's the futures. Look, futures they're even higher now. A few minutes ago when I showed you they're 19, $20 on the S&P, it's now sitting at $26 on the S&P. So we're pushing up. We've already gained here from where we go here. We closed around 600. We're now up around 602 and a half. we're working our way back up. We're working our way back up. So, okay, let me see here. Where can I learn about the trading mechanics? In the trading room. In the trading room, we teach the mechanics in the trading room, and also the inner circle will give you good information on that. Lisa's asking, how do we repair trade nude options? My first day was Friday's trade. Oh, not a super start. Ha ha ha. I hear we will do Monday, Tuesday. Go. What if we need to repair? Lisa, let's go over that in the trading room, okay? 'Cause it's going to be pretty complicated, and that's kind of what we're doing here. Here's another suggestion for John, Notorious John, Notorious Jon. Uh, Signal trades. So in the trading room, we discuss the signal trades and the pick of the day after the fact because they are separate subscription services. Just because you have the trading room does not mean you automatically get the pick and the signal. Okay, those are separate subscription services. So um, anyway, let me see here. Same with James charting. We go over that in the trading room. You got to get in on that, folks. Got to get on that one here. All right, where are people from? Seattle, San Diego, Rome, Georgia, Las Vegas. Yes, Phil. Dear Randy, sorry about Lucy. Thank you so much. Dear Randy, she's in Toronto, Canada, Richmond, Virginia, St. Petersburg. There's one from Montreal. What about Triple Threat Stock Service? Never heard of them. Never heard of them. Putnam, Connecticut. And no, the trading room does not include the other services. Okay, when you're in the trading room, it's just the trading room. And a lot of people have all the services, so they will get the pick, they'll get the trading day trade by signal and the trading room, and they're also in the inner circle. Here's Don from Vermont. Don, did I meet you at the trade? Did you come down to Las Vegas? Was that you down there? I thought I saw you there. Okay. Okay, I think I am running out of time here. Okay, is there a minimum level of options account I need to have in order to trade SPY? Currently I have level 2 and I was able to place an order but unable to close it. Really? Am I missing something when closing the trade? Am I using the same alert for the day? Okay, I'm not sure what you're talking about here, Andrew. When we give out alerts, we give out buy alerts and we tell you what we would do to exit the trade. So if I say I'm looking for a 6% gain, I'm looking for a 5% gain. But you are at your own discretion. You might see something going really quirky on you. You might want to say, I'll just take a 2 or 3%. Or if you see the market really going your direction, you might go for, 7, 8, 10, 15% or whatever, right? And in the trading room, we also show you how to keep going and making a lot more. We just use 6% as a standard by which we measure success. That's what we do. But a lot of people make a lot more than 5 or 6%. All right. Okay, thank you so much for that, Steve. Steve A, who's at the Money Show, signed up for all four offerings during the session. I'm curious how you advised clients on the Friday decline. Did people make money buying puts? Um, I have not personally got into the emails yet from Friday, although I heard that some people made out like bandits on the puts on Friday. They recognized the break off support. They jumped right in. One gentleman, he jumped in on that and then came down to the trade show. And then when he went back up to check his computer, he was at I think he was at the hotel there. He saw that the stock had gone down even further, and he made a lot of money on those puts. So way to go! Congratulations! I forgot the guy's name, but he was popping in and out there. Okay, some more quick questions here. Okay. Thank you for that, John. John McKay. I'm using both the Day Trade Spy pick of the day and the trading room, and I firmly believe they complement each other considerably. The trading room helped me significantly in making decisions on the pick of the day. Thank you so much for that, John. That's great to hear that. Okay. All right. Houston. We got people from all over. Okay. There's somebody from the UK. Good to have you here. All right. Anyway, let me see. Okay. Congratulations to James D. He picked up 78% on the puts on Friday. Folks, with that, I think we're going to call it a day. Thank you very much for joining us. If you stick around long enough, We are going to have the web page come up to sign up for the trading room. So go ahead and subscribe. Been a pleasure. We'll see you the next time.
Give it all to you and trust the process and keep your eyes on the prize. I can tell you what I'm seeing. You can have